A long, long time ago, in a far, far away place called Blackistan, there were wars, and these conflicts were called the Blackistan Wars. And throughout these wars, there arose a man of royal lineage, and his name was BenjaminDeSouza. He brought forth a sword that will shine light in darkness, free the captive minds, and bring truth and justice. His eyes glimmered like ember. His skin was like fine burnished steel. And as he walked, behind him he left a glistening wake. This is the story of BenjaminDeSouza, the prince and the warlord. Yo, what's happening? It's BenjaminDeSouza here, the prince, back with another classic. And I just want to dovetail on a stream of thought from my last vidya that I put up, and that is putting things and people on a pedestal, most notably women, of course. And I'll talk about some other things that can be deleterious to brothers if they do idolize them and put them on a pedestal. First things first. My father once told me to, he told me this maybe, probably about a year, maybe 2 years before he passed away. Anyway, he said, be mindful of the women. I'm paraphrasing him. He said, be mindful of the women whom you deal with, because women can lead you down a path of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, or lifestyle choices overall, which can be detrimental to you. And when you really think about it, it's kind of the Eve effect, you know. If you're dealing with let's just say a corrupt woman, you know, who has corrupt morals, be they drugs, or let's say she's into a life of crime, let's say she's into that scamming and finessing type of shit, and you're on the up and up, right? She can come to you like how Eve came to Adam in the garden and convinced him to take a bite of the apple. You know what I mean? And the reason why brothers do take that bite of the apple is because they idolize that woman. You know, they don't want to lose her, so they want to do things that appease her. You know, let's say your brother, you don't smoke weed, or you don't take ecstasy pills. You know, you may drink beer from time to time, or you know, throw back a few shots of Hennessy or whatever from time to time. But for the most part, you want to keep a clear and sober mind. You don't want to delve off into the realm of narcotics and whatnot, because you want to keep a clear and sober mind, because you got a specific purpose in mind that you want to accomplish, and you know that you can't accomplish that if you know, high as a kite all the time. This chick, on the other hand, is a avid weed head and pill popper. You know what I mean? Y'all, you know, y'all chopping it up or whatever, so y'all get to parlaying one night, kicking it or whatever. Maybe, let's say it's at her place, right? She bust out the trees and the jiggers, or the pills or whatever. You know you don't want to do that shit. But you like, damn, this bitch is bad. bona fide 8.5, 9, and you ain't never had an 8 or a 9 before. So you like, damn. She rolling up. She asking me, do I want to smoke? Shit, I ain't smoked in 3 years, and I really don't want to start back. But shit, if I say I don't, if I turn it down, she might look at me like I'm a square and whoop de whoop, and I might not get a shot at the money. So you go ahead and capitulate and fall down that rabbit hole. God forbid that that decision makes you take a turn for the worse. You know, hopefully you can avoid that sort of situation altogether, and have the willpower and the wherewithal to stick to your scruples and stick to your guns. But you know, that's just one example. You know, the said brother in question who capitulated to the woman, he did so because he idolized her. He idolized her beauty, or he, for whatever reason. You feel me? Another example is, let's say you tolerate mistreatment from a group of people because you want to fit in. You know, you're compromising your dignity trying to ingratiate yourself to this group of people just so that you can be their friends. You're idolizing what this group of people stand, what they represent. You know, they may be the popular kids in school, so you kind of want to be down with them, so you don't mind being their little flunky. You know what I mean? Which can be very degrading, and whatnot. Just a quick aside, if you know anything about me, if you follow my catalog or see me interact with people on panels here on YouTube, I'm not afraid to be the bad guy. I'm really not. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to jeff with motherfuckers. I'm not here to kiss motherfuckers' asses. I'm not here to suck up to nobody. If we agree on something, we agree. If we disagree, we disagree. But I never compromise what I stand for and what I represent just to be a part of the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? And like I've spoken about this in my classic video, the top 5 defects of black men. One of the top 5 defects of black men is that we are afraid to be the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? It's not lost on me that, I got a meager channel. I'm not an aspiring, excuse me. I'm not an aspiring big time YouTuber. You know what I mean? My whole reason for coming here to YouTube is to disseminate information, not to be some big time hot shot here. I'm not out for clout like that, So I have no problem being the bad guy or offending people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna compromise my beliefs and what I hold true just to be your friend. What else? So let's let's bring this back full circle as far as it pertains to women. What we have here today in Blackistan is that you have a lot of men. I'm not gonna say a lot, but you have a sizable amount of men who, as SWP put it, selling their masculinity at a discount. And what that means is that they're compromising with the woman on some level. If she's moderately attractive and has some physical features that the man finds pleasing, but she has a foul attitude, he will then compromise, put up with the foul attitude, and deal with the woman, foul attitude and all. Or let's say he doesn't have any children and she has a child. He doesn't want to deal with a chick with a child, but he compromises. You know what I mean? That's selling your masculinity at a discount, especially if you are a on point brother, or as Kevin Samuels puts it, a Henry, a high earner, not rich yet. I believe that's the acronym he uses. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Even if you're that, even if you're on your trajectory to where you're going or whatever, so you know what your worth is, you know you can do better, but you kind of settle. You get what I'm saying? That's selling your masculinity at a discount. And a lot of men in Blackistan are cool with this because they want the shit as low as possible. Because like I said before, if they're not held to a standard of masculinity, then they have free reign to just be as derelict as they want to be. You know what I'm saying? But if you're derelict in your masculinity, on the flip side, you can't hold the woman by any standard, to any standard. You have no leg to stand on to do so. So the women, in essence, encourage the men to be, how you say, as derelict as possible. Or let's not say as derelict as possible. Not in all cases, that's a bit extreme. Let's say functionally derelict. You know what I'm saying? You're derelict in your masculinity, but you're somewhat functional. You know what I'm saying? And they seek out these sort of arrangements that way they're not held to a standard. You know what I mean? And it's my estimation that I would say the majority of brothers, black men, do not want to sell their masculinity at a discount. They don't. They would like to get what they're worth, but they idolize either the woman whom they're dealing with, so they're willing to compromise on whatever thing it is about her. They're willing to compromise, or they idolize, let's say, a concept such as black love. Shoot, I gotta keep it black. It's gotta be black love, bliggity black. So I'm gonna compromise. Or something trivial. But brothers, just a quick example. Let's say your homebody. Like myself, I'm a homebody. I'm a Virgo. I'm a real, aside from what some of you may have seen me on panels, I'm a real chill person. I really like to kind of stay out the way. I really like to interact with people whom I know. I don't mind getting out there and interacting with different type of people, but I'm kind of standoffish and whatnot from time to time. I can be, or whatever. But during this quarantine or whatever, it's been a walk in the park for me. You know, I have no problem with this shit. Stay at home and work out, listen to YouTube videos, and play video games. Or chill with my daughter. It don't matter. It's all good with me. But let's say, use me for an example. Let's say I come across a chick, right? Say I meet a chick, we get to chopping it up or whatever. And we go out on a date, we get to chopping it up or whatever. She calls me up and it's like, hey, let's go down to Westport. Westport here in Kansas City it's a club district. It's like it's kind of like Bourbon Street. It's like the Bourbon Street of Kansas City. It's a district with a whole bunch of clubs and bars and food truck vendors and shit. And you go down there, it's like Kansas City's version of Bourbon Street. I really don't like going to Westport. I haven't been to Westport in damn near since 2013. It's like the last time I've been to Westport. So I'm really not a Westport, I'm really not a club guy, but let's say if I was to idolize this particular female, I'd be like, damn, if I don't go to the club with her, she gonna think I'm a lame. She gonna think I'm a square. And she not gonna give me no pussy. As GC would say. See, and then I would go ahead and compromise and go to the club anyway. Even though I don't like going to the club. Like, I can get into my mode. When I go to the club, I can get into my mode and get real, lively. But, I don't like doing it. But if I were to compromise in that situation, then that would, in essence, be me idolizing her. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say something on a smaller level. Let's say you're texting, you're having a little text back and forth or whatever, and you kind of second guess what you're about to text because you're like, man, that sounds a little bit too nerdy, or I'm using polysyllabic words. She might think, because these chicks don't like smart guys and shit, so she might think I'm a lame because I'm using too many big words and shit. So let me go ahead and dumb it down and I mean, it's at your own discretion. If you choose to kind of play dumb or dumb it down and shit, that's on you. But that right there can be seen as you idolizing because you compromised. But this is just a thought. Let me know what you think.